go. All right. Y'all can start typing your questions. I'm just getting us going on TikTok and Instagram. So give us about 45, 60 seconds and we will get right down to business. And we're going to do rapid fire Q&A. Ask anything on your mind, buying, leasing, paying cash. It does not matter. We'll be hitting all subjects. If you don't know me, my name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. And I spent 14 years in the car business from 2006 to 2020. I left in 2020, and since then, we've been focused on teaching everyone willing to listen how to pay less for cars than everyone else, how to enjoy the car shopping process, whether you're a good negotiator or a bad negotiator. That's not going to matter when you stop negotiating and you start getting bids. You know, this phone always gives me challenges getting on Instagram. So, all right, we're up on Instagram, and then I'm starting TikTok. So let's get down to it. Come on in. We are live. And shout out to the sharers. Appreciate all of you who share these broadcasts. We can't do this without you. We can't do this without those of you who are inviting your friends to the broadcast. It matters so much. Okay, so I'll be taking questions from every platform. If this is your first time on a live broadcast, just type the number 1. And then as everyone who's here for the first time types the number 1, if you've been here before, if you could just type a welcome to all the first time people. If you've been here before, let's just give the brand new people who've never been here a nice welcome. If you could type welcome. This live show is sponsored by my brand new digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. You can get it for 75% off for 30 minutes by going to my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio. You'll see there's a website there. Just click the picture of me. And for 30 minutes, you can get it. It's normally $97, but you can get it for $24, 75% off, as long as you get there before the timer expires. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, you can go to deshonsbook.com. I'm going to post a comment for you guys, or you can scan the QR code if you happen to be watching on the TV. I see you, Ida. All right, I see you, JM. Okay. I see you, Skinner. Good to see you. Yep, discount is in effect as long as you go there and it hasn't hit 0 yet. All right, let's get the questions going. All right, I'm just going to be rotating between all 4 platforms, so just start typing them. Hello, I think you lost your train of thought fixing your phone. Well, we just started, so I am known sometimes to lose my train of thought. So I just ask that if I do that during this broadcast, when I'm answering a question that you post, just help me get back to it, because we do these rapid fire questions and sometimes that does happen. Preston asks, this one's from YouTube. How do you check your equity on a lease? Now, who didn't know you had equity? Who didn't know you could have equity on a lease? Who didn't know you could sell a lease? Type 1 in the chat if you did not know you could sell a lease. So what Preston's asking is, how do you check your equity? Well, that's the first step in seeing if you can sell a lease. So the first thing you're going to do is call your bank. You're going to call the leasing company because you need to know how much you owe. That's called a payoff. Do not look at your residual value and do not look at your contract. You want to call your bank and get the payoff. There's 2 types of payoffs. One's a customer payoff, one's a dealer payoff. Once you have that number, the customer payoff, you're going to go on these sites that I tell you to go on. They're going to give you online cash offers. Some of them are online car buyers, and some of them connect you with a local dealership. But you want a cash offer. You don't want anything else but a cash offer. Nothing else matters in this world. You're going to go to CarMax.com. You're going to go to Driveway. You're going to go to Carvana. You're going to go to Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. Very important you don't go to the regular Kelly's Blue Book. They're not going to give you a cash offer. You're going to go to AutoNation, Sell My Car. And you're going to go to Car Guru, Sell My Cars. This is your first introduction in getting bids. And this is the first thing. If you have a car to replace, this is your first introduction. Before you think about the car you're buying or you want to lease, This is your first step, which is the equity assessment. Now, if you have a lease, when you are on those websites, you must put, you're going to see a question that says, is the car financed, owned, or leased? You want to put owned, because there's something in their website that triggers if you put lease, because the website is not trained to know who has a third party restriction or who doesn't. That's not important. What's important is you put own. You need to know what the market value is of your car, and the only way you're going to do that is with real cash offers. Now, when you call your bank and you get a payoff, and let's say it's 15,000, those cash offers are 17 or 18 or 19,000. That means you have equity. That means that you can make money by selling that car. That gives you the ability to get out of the lease early, gives you flexibility in what you can do, and it won't matter even if you're over mileage. I sold my lease back in 2021 and I was over mileage, and it didn't matter. When you sell your lease, you pay no penalties. It's a clean sell. All right. That is called the equity assessment. Okay. And that's the first steps of what you do. All right. Let's keep the questions coming. We're bringing them from all platforms. Let's go. I'm ready to spend $6,000 in cash for a car. How do I shop? If I was spending $6,000, I'd be on Facebook Marketplace. Make sure that you're checking the quality of the titles, narrow it down to and look for a private owner who is selling their car from their driveway or at their workplace. Do not buy from dealerships. I don't go into detail with that strategy, but that's something I just did. I picked up a car and hold on. Hold on, I had a call coming in. I always forget when we go, because we've been going on Instagram on this device, and I always forget to put on Do Not Disturb. So I just had a call come through. Can y'all hear me? Audio still clear? Let me know if the audio is still clear. On Instagram, I know we all good. Mel's, how do I get your book? Just go right to my TikTok bio, click that picture of me, click that website, and click that button that says 75% off my new book. As long as the timer is not 0, you got 75% off. You won't pay the $97. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So what I was saying is I don't go into detail on those strategies because frankly, it requires an entire new segment of how to buy cars privately. But what I will tell you is that's a good start, and there's I teach more mainstream at some point. Maybe we will get into that. But that's the first thing. Don't buy from a dealer who's posing as a private owner. You want to buy from a private owner, has the car. They're going to know everything about the car. They're going to know what accidents. And you call and you try to find a dealer. Any of you who are buying like a couple $1,000 cars with your tax refunds, Facebook Marketplace is the place. But you want to avoid the dealers who are posing as owners. The best deal is going to come from an owner, someone in their car's in their garage. They've had it 5, 6, 10 years. This one I bought here was a grandfather. He was 98 years old, and he had the car. He's been driving. It had 70,000 miles on it, and I just needed something to get from point A to point B because I barely go anywhere. So that's a good start. Look for an owner, and make sure you have a local mechanic. Take it to a local mechanic before you seal the deal, or bring your mechanic there. Say, hey, look, I'll pay you $75 if you can come with me and just look at this car, give it a visual. You want someone with you when you're buying cars with no warranty, guys. If you are buying a used car with no warranty, you want someone with you. Mechanic. And one of the benefits of having a great local mechanic, y'all know I preach on that, is that they're typically, and don't ask them to work for free. Hey, listen, can I get you for an hour? I want you to come with me, take a look at this private car, and they'll give you a lot of peace of mind. All right, let's keep it going. Hey, Preston, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. I posted the comment on YouTube. You said, how do I get the book from YouTube? I thought I posted the comment. Maybe I forgot to post it. There you go. You can just click on Deshone's link, deshonsbook.com, and you can get it. Let's see. All right, I'm looking at TikTok. I see a lot of people on here. Could y'all keep tapping the screen, shooting those likes up? I appreciate y'all. I see a lot of people, but I don't see y'all asking a lot of questions today. So, all right, type your questions. We'll get to them. Let's go. What we got from Instagram? All right, let's go. Why are dealers still charging markups over MSRP, and when will the market correct? Great question. 80% of dealers are going to charge ridiculous prices. It doesn't matter. The key is you must learn to get multiple offers, because we've been buying cars for below MSRP since the pandemic. Felicia was the first one to use what I teach. This was back when I first opened up my online school, Cars from Home University. It's a video library. And she came in middle of the pandemic. We opened it because there was blood in the streets. And it was like people were paying ridiculous prices. She came in, she got a BMW for $1,950 off MSRP, BMW X1. And that showed me that it didn't matter, because I knew even with Mercedes, where I worked for Mercedes, we had hot cars. There was always dealers willing to discount. You're always going to have a dealer that wants to sell lower than everyone else. The key is you got to find them. And that's why what I teach you to do is sort. You're not negotiating one-to-one anymore if you're using what I'm teaching you. You're going to start getting bids. And if you don't get bids, you will be at the mercy of whatever dealer you walk in. And if they're overpriced, then you're going to think everything's overpriced. But I'll be showing you throughout the broadcast several deals recently done, because I have the benefit of working with people all around the country who send me their deals. Some of them I coach. Some of them just DM me, Deshone, I used your stuff. Look at what I paid. So we get to know that there's deals out here for the people who are going to learn to make people bid for their business. But for those who want to shop the old way and negotiate back and forth one-to-one, yeah, it may look like there's no deals out there. So you got to step into this new world. It's a better world. It's an easier world. You're going to enjoy shopping. You're going to feel like you're in control. And you will see that there are deals out here. Lots of them. Lots of them. Welcome to the new people. I see we got some new followers. Let's go. TikTok. What's the best CPO car to get for a 17-year-old? Well, that's a great question. There's a lot of great cars. There's a lot of great cars. The key is looking at if I'm looking, first of all, here's the thing. What is it about a CPO that makes you think that a CPO is a better car than a quality pre-owned car? Because oftentimes, this is a great question. This one's from Instagram. Oftentimes, all right, so here's how we narrow down a used car. And this young lady who asked about the private party, don't change the process. Use this process and it'll give you peace of mind. Anyone shopping for a used car this year or in the upcoming future, type U. Type the letter U. Okay? This is going to be for you guys to keep in mind, because this is our process of how we try to protect ourselves. There's no guarantees, but when you have boundaries, you have a good shot of protecting yourself against the foolishness and, the results people with no boundaries are going to get. So the first thing we're going to look at is the title. When you go, in my book, I teach something called the multiple marketplace strategy. You need to be on every marketplace that has cars. If you were buying a TV, you would not only walk into one store. Some of you may not even walk in, right? I want you to see, the more you learn this, the more you're going to see that the way I'm teaching you to shop is the way you already shop for other stuff. But for some reason, when you shop for cars, you do this, you kind of do this, this new process that you don't do with anything else. So when you open these marketplaces up, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Carfax.com, Auto Trader, Car Gurus, eBay Motors is up there. I want to be everywhere there's cars, and I'm looking at a 100-mile radius. That's where we start. This is my multiple marketplace strategy. If you use these boundaries, you got a good shot of protecting yourself, and you certainly will get below market used car deals, which is our goal. Y'all know our only goal when it comes to market value is below market value. So the first thing, once I open those up, I'm looking at narrowing it down based on title. So I'm going to look at the title and see. Now, how do you get the title? Sometimes there's a free Carfax. I'm going to give you all a gem. This is something that it was a secret strategy that I teach, but Since you're on here, I'll give it to you. The Carfax sometimes is on the marketplace, but sometimes it's not. In which case, they're going to try to sell you a Carfax. Now, many dealers have contracts with Carfax, and if you simply go to the dealer's website and look at the same car that you saw on Car Gurus or Carfax.com, you'll see Carfax.com always gives you the Carfax of whatever they're listing, but on Auto Trader, on Cars.com, on Car Gurus, it's not. So you want to go to the dealer's website, and many times, not all, you can find a free Carfax there. Save yourself $40. Because we need to see the Carfax, because that's going to tell us the quality of the title. And then the next thing we look for is the service records. It's super important. There's probably nothing more important than service records to determining if the car was taken care of. Accidents won't tell you that. Title won't tell you that. You could buy a certified pre-owned car, which is what this young lady was asking. Best certified pre-owned car for a 17-year-old. If it doesn't have quality service records, it's not as good as a car that does, that may not be certified. So once we go past, you want to see constant and consistent service, constant, consistent oil changes. Then you move to accidents, and we look for minor. Some people say, Deshone, if you might say no accidents for me, that's your thing. That's fine. Some people say moderate accidents. You got to be able to look at what happened based on the Carfax. If it says vehicle towed, that's a deal breaker for me. I would not do a car that had vehicle towed. That means it was a serious accident, and airbags deployed, serious accident, deal breaker for me. Vehicle drivable, it's a minor accident. Could have been a fender bender in a shopping mall. So once we look at that, now we've looked at a quality car from a quality standpoint. Doesn't necessarily mean, CPO, because sometimes CPO, some of you may experience, they'll charge you $3-4 grand more for the CPO. I'd much rather get a car that checks those 3 boxes and save the $3,000. Now, if the CPO comes in at the best price based on all the inventory, that's different. But many times it's not. Sometimes dealers, especially the 80% of dealers that's going to overcharge, they will certainly use the CPO as an opportunity to mark the price up when it's not worth it. So that's what I say. That's our process. That's how we shop for used cars as far as quality. Now we have another step. That's not all, because that doesn't guarantee. Y'all hear, I didn't say nothing about price. So in order to know you're getting a great price on a used car, you must know what the original MSRP was. Some of you heard me talk about that. So, maybe we'll go deep on that, but I wanted to let you know, don't lock in your mind CPO. CPO is not going to guarantee that it's a quality car. What I just went over is, there's no guarantees, but that'll at least give you a good shot. All right. Welcome to all the new people. Everything that I'm talking about is in my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. Part of our launch it's 75% off. You can get it in my Instagram bio, on my TikTok bio. What I just broke down for you is part of my multiple marketplace strategy. And it's just looking at all your options. I find that we are not looking at enough options to really see the whole market. And that's why we're overpaying sometimes. I'm in Arkansas. I read that it's the 3rd worst state for car leasing. Is that true? What does this mean? I've had people all over the country tell me that leases are bad, and I've had people all over the country, who listen to us, who get great deals. I pay no attention to what people say. I pay no attention to commercials. I pay no attention, because what you're going to see, give you an example, and then keep the questions coming. This is Bonita. Bonita, when she leased her Telluride, this was the middle of the pandemic. That's why I keep the date. It was December 2022, not the middle, but it was certainly when there was lots of people overpaying for this truck, 5-10 grand. There are people now that are leasing this same vehicle that Bonita got, and they're paying $800-900 a month. So she paid $600 a month, and she drove off. $600 she gave him, no money down, just gave him $600, her first month's payment, and she drove off. Said, thanks for showing me the way. We never concern ourselves with other. If you listen to me and you try and test what I'm teaching you, what you're going to have to do is block out anybody else, because they're going to project their experiences on you. And unfortunately, they have no strategy. Many of them, unfortunately, are shopping the old way, negotiating with one dealer, and they're probably negotiating with an 80% dealer that's overpriced. And they have no idea how to get multiple offers and see the market and get the winning deal. So their experience is totally different. So your whole thing is to make sure that how you shop, you get the results. And then eventually you'll be able to tell them the same way I do. It's the way you shop that's leading to these overpriced offers you're getting. That's just it. Somebody came on the show the other day and said, there's no deals out here. For you, there isn't. With your strategy, there isn't. You keep doing the same thing. You expect a different result. We know that's the definition of insanity. But when you do things our way, different results. All right. Let me get back to, let's go to one on TikTok. On Facebook or Instagram. We're taking questions from all the platforms. So let me just go to the comments here. Peyton said, just joined in. I'm looking to buy a brand new Toyota Highlander. When buying new, is there any negotiation room? Of course. I've been to 2 local Toyota dealerships. That's not enough. Only 2 Grand Highlanders I've seen on the lot. Do you have to order them? But that takes away from having a good experience of checking them on site. Peyton, it doesn't matter when you walk in to a dealership. If you're walking into the 80%, the numbers show. And you will see our rule of thumb when we buy new cars, we use something I created called the 25-to-5 strategy. We're connecting with 25 dealers online to get 5 offers. That's the goal. Now, here's the beauty. Here's what shopping out of 20. Now, some of you might say, Deshone, how do you do 25 deals? We do it all online. It's copy and paste. Your goal is to get 5 offers because you're going to see how different the offers are. Some dealers are going to charge you ridiculous money. That's the 80%. Let them do what they do. The 20% are going to beat them. The only way you're going to reach the 20% is by getting multiple offers. And the other benefit of the 25-to-5 and shopping out of 25 dealers inventory is if you went into 2 Toyota dealers, whatever y'all have is what I got. If y'all don't have it, I don't have it. But when we're connecting with 25 dealers online, how many of those 25 have a car we could want? Maybe 10, maybe 8, more than 2. So the leverage is in sitting in one place and actually talking to multiple dealers. And we do this in 20 minutes because you're using my scripts. I give you copy and paste scripts when you get to the 25-to-5. Now, this strategy, I told y'all, is different than the used car strategy. Used cars called multiple marketplace strategy. New cars and leases, we shop for them the same way. We're going to get bids 25-to-5. Now, if you do it your way, you can do phone calls and you can talk to, I always say, you can talk to sales managers. That's going to take longer, but you can do it. It's better than the old way of walking into one dealer and walking into another one and saying, okay, there's no, because what's going to happen is you start projecting your experience, and when you find a car that someone has a car, you're going to talk so much, you're going to overpay based on things you say, like this. Man, you're the first person that you're the first person I saw that got a car. Ching, ching, money just went up. Oh, really, man? Yeah, these are hard to come by. Maybe they're not. Maybe 8 dealers have them within a 75-mile radius. They're not going to tell you that. Yeah, these are very tough. You don't see a lot of these. And, that's why there's a premium on them, setting you up based on what you said. Yeah, man, well, shoot. All right, man, I thought I was going to have to order one. Ching, price just went up. So the language you use is costing you money, which is why when you use what I'm telling you to do, there is no talking. I don't want you talking, because car dealers, one thing that they trained us on is listening. Everything you say, we're listening to it. So you don't know that. And so the best thing for me to do, who's not a good negotiator? Just type me if you are not a good negotiator. Y'all know the only way we win here is be honest. That's how we win, because I'm going to teach you how to win when you're not a good negotiator. Thanks, Ava. I appreciate you too. Yep. All right. Brown Sugar. All right. I see you. Peyton. Nah. Okay. Diane. I see you. Ava. Okay. Let's go. Vice. I see Jay and Rich. So you got, all right. So there's many of you on here not a good negotiator. Here's how you save thousands of dollars. Stop negotiating one-on-one and start getting multiple offers and bids. You don't have to. If I walk into the grocery store, I'm not negotiating for the best price spaghetti sauce. They're all trying to sell me. If you wanted to buy a 100-inch TV right now, you're not negotiating for the best price on a TV, are you? No. You just know where to go to see all the people who want to sell you a TV. And that takes the pressure off you because these people are competing with each other to sell you a TV. That's what we're doing with our offers. You are going to now start to get multiple offers. Listen, Best Buy is overpriced 80% of the time. Sometimes they're not. When I want to buy a TV, Best Buy is not a place I'm going to bank on a deal, but every now and then Best Buy beats everybody else. So even the 80%, you never know. You got to be multiple offers and you're going to see how much money you save. So again, you could do it your way, Peyton. You could call 5 sales managers, get different prices, or you could use what's in my book. This is part of my 25 to 5 strategy where you're using my scripts online. And the reason why I could write scripts is because I use the same scripts they're writing to you guys. They're writing to us because I buy and lease cars too. Hey, Deshone, thanks for the inquiry. When can we have a conversation? Well, actually, I'm going to be doing my entire transaction online. Do you have something that I'm looking for? Copy and paste. I got all the scripts in there. So when you don't have to talk, I don't have to worry about you making a mistake. And you don't have to worry about yourself making a mistake. So all of this is in my book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. And I'm giving you 2 ways to do it. For those who are not going to get the book, I gave you the manual way. For those who are going to get the book, you know what's in there in that 25 to 5. Okay, you can get it for 75% off in my TikTok bio for 30 minutes. Once the timer hits 0, it goes back up to $97. And my Instagram bio as well. Click that website, get your book, come on back and join us. Get your 75% off. All right, let's keep it going. Keep the questions coming. I'm loving this. All right, this one is YouTube. And we'll go everyone. We'll go every platform. So let's continue to, I'm just rotating between them all. Last one was Facebook. Now I'm currently leasing a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Leases up in August. Do you foresee decent deals being available for a new Challenger, Scat Pack, or Mustang GT? Do you work with people on purchasing? I don't. The way I work with people is the way you see me. Through information, through education. I don't fish for people. I'm going to teach you how to fish. Those of you who are hiring people or getting people to fish for you, you're giving control of your deal over to someone else. And this is not a small deal. There's thousands of dollars to be made in your car deal. You're giving that to someone. And I'm able to get results for groups. We've been helping people. We've helped just personally helping people, probably 1,700 people since 2021. And, a couple thousand more that I've never even heard of that every now and then I just get a DM. So we can certainly get results if you're willing to say, all right, teach me this online process, because here's the real, when you learn my process, I get deals in 90 minutes. There is no car that I'm going to buy or lease that I'm not going to get the best deal in 90 minutes. Now, in the beginning, it's going to take you a little longer because this is a new process for you. But by your second, third deal, you'll be getting cars in 90 minutes. It does not take longer than that to get multiple offers, to shop the market. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. My Infinity that I bought last year didn't take me more than 90 minutes to get that. Every lease that I've done, and I've had 6 leases, didn't take me more than 90 minutes. Now, that's different than deciding what you want. I don't want you rushing that, because you've been taught to rush that process. The choosing what you want, the getting out there and seeing cars and test driving, we don't rush that. But when it comes to deciding and saying, all right, I like this, let me get offers, 90 minutes tops. When it comes to what a deal is, he asks if they're going to be good deals on a Scat Pack on a Mustang. All you could do is get offers. We have no idea. Some of you saw, I grabbed this a couple days ago. Some of you saw this. I'm not going to share Kimberly's deal. I'll share this. This was Sean. Sean posted in our group he was purchasing an F-150 Lightning. MSRP on the vehicle is $73,285. He's saving $20,000 off the vehicle. And $49.90 of that is dealer discount. Who won the bid? The winning dealer discounted the vehicle $49.90. The rebate that he got, that he revealed, he didn't know about it coming in. See, you don't worry about what new cars and leases have rebates. You reveal them, because some people will tell you, oh yeah, there's $1,000 rebate. There's really a $1,500 rebate. Some people tell you there's no rebate, but there's really a $2,000 rebate. The 80% we can't trust. All we do is we reveal what the offers are. $15,500 rebate. And here's what I asked him after he said this, because he was like, listen, I'm about to pull the trigger on this. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I said, look, Sean, I haven't seen the other offers, because he's using the 25-5. We don't accept an offer without seeing at least 5. And he said, but I'm assuming you got at least 5. You're saving over $20,000 on this with the discount and the rebate. But the only way to know it is to compare to the other offers. Is this the lowest? If so, slam dunk all day long. He said, guess I could have put a little bit more info on here. Yes, I got 15 quotes. I couldn't, and y'all might be, 15 quotes. He did this from home. Probably took him 90 minutes. Even this is his first time using this. He said, I couldn't find anything under MSRP. This is very important. So he got the first initial quotes, and he's getting the 80% dealers quoting them, can't get under MSRP. Look, he said, I expanded outside my area to find this deal. I'm going to another state to pick it up, which is something I never would have thought of before or would have never considered before this class. That one thing he decided, and knowing how to shop wide, saved him another $5,000 off the vehicle, in addition to the rebates that he got. So we don't know what it's going to be. Some people you're going to see, I'll show you, and they save $3,000. That's the best offer. Whatever the best bid is what the lowest price is in the market. If the vehicle's in more demand, some people are going to be paying $5, $10 grand over sticker, $3 grand over sticker. Then we don't know what we're going to save. That is the point. Sean didn't know coming into this he was going to save $20,000. He just said, I'm picking this car, I'm going to shop the offers, and I'll see where the bottom of the market is. That's the goal. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let me remove this. This is what we do, y'all. This is what we do, and this is what I want you doing. This is not, you don't have to worry, oh, I hope this is going to work. This isn't an experiment. You don't have to say going into the grocery store, man, I hope I don't overpay for the spaghetti sauce. You're going to look at multiple spaghetti sauces and you're going to pick the best one. You get what I'm saying? It's just not, if I told you today, you got to go and buy a 100-inch TV in 2 days, that's all you got. No, is anyone in here worried about overpaying for a 100-inch TV? Even if you never bought one before. If I just say, hey, look, I'm going to give you the money, but here's the goal. You can't overpay for it. Is anyone in here worried about overpaying for a TV? No. Because I'm going to look at Amazon.com, Walmart.com. I'm going to look here, I'm going to look here, and I'm going to see enough prices where I'm going to snatch the best one. When you have multiple offers, that's how you get price assurance. And that's what you need to bring to your car buying. That's what I want you to bring. I want you driving off, guaranteeing that you paid the lowest price in the market, like Sean, like some of the other people who I'll show you. All right. No, I don't offer buying services, Don. It's what I teach is too easy. If you can't get this, and this is with all due respect, if I'm telling you that I make these deals and that these people that I'm showing you make these deals in minutes, and you're like, yo, could you do it for me? You don't deserve to win. And maybe you didn't see it. I'm not saying that's you, but I'm talking to anybody who is like, You want to give control of a 5-figure financial transaction to another person when you have a new way. Old way, I get it. Painful. Negotiating back and forth. I hate it. Please, can someone help me? Can someone come with me? I get it. But when you're being exposed to a new way and you're like, man, I really would prefer someone do it for me, you just don't deserve to win. That's just, this is your money. If you think somebody's going to care about your money as much as you care about it, you got another thing coming in this world. All right, let's go. What's your advice about negative equity? Great question. 3 things that you could be done. All right, y'all. Anyone who has negative equity. All right, listen up. There's only 3 things, 3 outcomes. 2 of them lead to a car, 1 of them doesn't. Negative equity, I call it the devil to your car deals. It is the bad credit for people with good credit, because it's the only thing I've seen where people leave with no car and they had an 800 score. Negative equity can only be paid off. That's step 1. There's 3 things. I teach this in my book. Let's go into detail on this. First of all, those of you who don't know, negative equity means you owe more money than the car you're in is worth. So the highest offer, whatever the highest bid you can get on your car from those companies that I mentioned about 15 minutes ago, if that's still lower than your payoff, then that means you have negative equity. Now, option 1, which is the best option, is to pay the difference. Because the companies that I just told y'all, the companies that we do our equity assessment with, they're going to pay more than everyone, because they're the ones that are already in the bidding business. They're already they know they're competing. They don't mind. They're going to put their offer out there. So they're not going to, this is why we don't trade cars. If you're new to the broadcast, again, all the new people, your first time on here, could you just type a 1? If this is your first live stream you've ever been on of car shopping Q&A, type 1. All right. Could everybody just type welcome to the first time people, please? If you've been here before, even if this is your second time, just type welcome so we can welcome the new people who jumped on to the broadcast. We got a lot of new people I see from all platforms. Just type a welcome, because what we're building over here is a community of people who are going to lead the charge in saving money on cars. We're the first. Y'all are the early adopters. Y'all are the first ones to use this. So, all right, there you go. Everybody got their welcome. So when you get those offers, let's say the highest offer is like 18, but you owe 20. I try to come up with the 2,000. That's what I do. If I got cash, if you say, Deshone, I got a little cash, I want to make sure I put it in the right place. The best thing to do is to take the highest offer from the highest bidder, pay off the negative equity, because now you have the freedom and you don't do this before you get a car. You literally do this when some of you are like, Deshone, I gotta make sure I get my new car before my old car. That's fine. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. You're going to be selling that car to the highest bidder, and that car is not going to be involved in the next transaction. The dealer is going to know nothing about it, because the dealer who is going to win the bid to sell you a car is not going to be able to also win the bid and pay the most money for your car. See, this is the thing. This is why y'all going to see when you use this, you're not going to be trading cars in, because the only time we're doing business with a dealer is when they've won the bid. They're the lowest price in the market. So to think that they're going to turn around and be the highest offer for our old car is just unrealistic. It's not going to happen. So what we're doing is that's the goal. That is first. That's the best option. Now let's say, Deshone, I can't pay the difference. Now here's your second option, and your only option if you want a car. You have to transfer that negative equity. Now, when you transfer that negative equity, you have to keep in mind something called 2 things. 1, the dealer who you're going to do, you have to do a deal now with the dealer you buy from. You have to do a deal with the dealer you buy from. That's why, I'll go into option 3. You might want to hold off, pay down the negative equity to the point where you can pay the difference, because again, What this is oftentimes going to do is increase your negative equity. So if you had negative equity, and let's say it was a $2,000 gap over here with the online buyers, when you end up bringing it to your new deal, it's going to be larger than that, because again, the dealer can't pay that much, can't pay what CarMax would pay, can't pay what Driveway would pay. So your negative equity is going to be larger than that. So you're going to get your offers, and then you're going to add the negative equity to whatever deal you make. That's all you can do. And you need to keep in mind that based on how much negative equity you have, you're not going to be able to add all of it. Give you an example. All right, let me break this down real quick, and we'll keep the questions coming. But this is what we do. We go into every subject to take care of everyone. And many of you will find you're in the same situation. This person probably asked the same question that you wanted to ask. That's the beautiful thing about this stream, is if you just stay on long enough, somebody's going to ask the same question. So when we get our bids for our new car, and then we get the best deal, that's when we go to that dealer and say, hey, what would you pay me for this? You don't need to tell them what you owe. You just need to let them see your car and say, hey, I got some offers online, but what would you pay? And you let them see what they pay. And now your highest offer from CarMax might have been 18. That dealer's highest offer might be like, listen, the car is worth 16 to me. And there's nothing you can do, because they're being real. They can't pay the prices that the online car buyers pay. They can't win the bid from both sides. It's just not going to happen. That's why if you can pay the difference, that's the best. Transferring is the second. And then you have to think about loan to value, which means if I have if this is for you who want to do no money down deals. For those of you who got some cash, this doesn't bother you. You got a couple $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. This is not going to bother you. But for those of you who are trying to do complete no money down deals, transferring large amounts of negative equity, here's what it takes to do a no money down deal. This is exactly what it takes. You buy the car, let's say it's 30. With good credit, the bank is going to approve roughly 20% above whatever the car's value is, which means 20% above 30 is $6,000. So the bank will approve at max $36,000. Now, if you buy the vehicle for 30, you slap your taxes on there for a couple thousand. You slap your doc fee and documentation fee, motor vehicles on there. Maybe you're up around 34,000. No money down, no problem. You slap $5,000. Look, watch this. You slap $2,000 of negative equity on top of that. You go from 34 to 36. You're still under 36. Bank approves it, no problem. But when you try to bring 7,000 of negative equity over, now you're going from purchase price 30, taxes and fees take you up to 34, roughly 33 and change, and now you slap $7,000 on there, and you're looking at 40,000, and you're saying, bank, please lend me 40,000 on a $30,000 car. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. That's the times where the dealer comes to you and says, hey, we need you to put $4,000 down. And you're like, hey, why do I need to put $4,000 down? Because you're above the loan to value ratios. You have too much negative equity to be able to do a no money down deal. So if that's you, what you're going to find, I walk you through this in my book, you might have to wait it out. Pay down the negative equity. What you're going to find sometimes is it makes sense to get your car fixed if it's having problems, get a quality mechanic, or just keep the car for a year, year and a half, pay down the negative equity, and then transfer. And most of you should not be transferring to a finance. That's why you're in that issue. You should be transferring to a lease. We'll put an exclamation point on that, because I just talked about how you get out of it. The cause of it is you buy cars and you don't lease, and you're a short-term person. You're not outliving the depreciation, but you take these 5 and 6 year loans and you trade the car in 2 and 3 years. You always have negative equity. The solution for negative, it's only 2 causes. Sometimes it's an emergency. Maybe you had a car and it was a 2-seater car, and now your wife's having twins, and you're like, yo, Deshone, I need an SUV, man. I was going to keep this car, but hey, man, I got to switch. This car doesn't work anymore. That's an emergency. That's a legitimate reason for negative equity. I just want to switch cars. No, you should be leasing. And the reason you have negative equity is because you haven't understood leasing yet. And when you do, not only are you going to pay less, but you won't be in these situations anymore. All right, long answer, because negative equity is the devil to your car deals. I'm going to continue to say it. I want you looking at it like, man, if I got negative equity, it's almost like bad credit. That's how you should be looking at negative equity. Stay out of it, get out of it, stay out of it. Structure your deals in a way where you don't have negative equity. And don't listen to people who say, oh, you should just take a shorter loan. You take 5-6 year loan, pay off your car in 3-4 years. Has nothing to do with the depreciation. You're losing because of the depreciation. The depreciated value of your car, when you go to replace it, it's too low. That's why you're losing. It has nothing to do with how quick the car is paid off. They want you to throw more money at the car. Take a shorter loan. Instead of a $500 payment, pay $700 a month. You won't have negative equity though. Horrible advice. Learn leasing. That's what we teach. We talk about leasing. We've helped tons of people understand leasing and transition to their first lease all day long. Everything I'm talking about, and we got more questions, we'll keep them coming. Everybody getting value out of this, type $signs. If you're getting value out of the live, you like the show, you're getting value, type $signs. This is sponsored by my new book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book. It has all my scripts, all my steps. It's in a step-by-step format. Buying's in there, leasing's in there, everything in a step-by-step way, the 25 to 5. And you can get it for 75% off as part of our launch in my TikTok bio for 30 minutes. Once that timer hits zero, it goes back up to $97. In my Instagram bio, click that website. If you get there before zero, you got the 75% off. And I'm going to post it. I'm going to post the link for you guys on Facebook and YouTube. There you go. Just click Deshone's book and get your 75% off. I see a lot of $signs. Glad you guys are all getting value out of it. You helped me a lot while purchasing my new car. That's what we're here for, Double Trouble. That is what we're here for. The name of the book is Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. What's a good refinance company? Just go online. Here's some rules to keep in mind, y'all. Some of you got high interest rates and you're getting ready to refinance or you're looking at refinancing. Here's some rules to keep in mind. First of all, go online. Type in refinance auto loan online. You want to look at a couple offers. You can let multiple people access your credit with a hard pull within this shouldn't take you any more than 2 days. You want to let these people access your credit. It's called rate shopping. Experian has an article on it. If you want to type in rate shopping Experian, you'll see they wrote a long blog post. They give you between 14 and 45 days until the window closes. You're going to do this in about 2 days. Refinancing, let all of these companies access your credit so that you can get the best rate. You must get bids. We have something we call the bank bidding war. We don't just choose our bank. We don't just choose our credit union. We make multiple people bid, including the dealers' banks. And the rule is, don't stretch out the loan long as possible. You want to take the highest payment you could afford at the shortest loan. Because oftentimes when you're ready to refinance, you paid for a year, you've paid for 2 years. You don't want to go in and let them say, everyone who wants to loan you money wants you to take it for a long time. Hey, do 7 years. You could always pay it off earlier because they make more money. The longer, if you don't pay it off early, I make more money. So, and many people don't. Some people will, but many people don't. So what you want to do is you want to look at not stretching out the loan, lower the interest rate on the refinance, and take the shortest loan that you could afford. If you've been paying $500 at 14%, when you refinance, don't let them, hey, you could drop your payment to $300 if you go to another 6 years. Don't fall for it. You want to say, listen, I've been paying $500. Give me the lower interest rate. I'll pay this thing off in another 3 years at the $500. Shortest loan you could afford. Don't let them stretch out the loan again. All right. Yep. Pay more, save more interest in that case. That do not let you. Don't fall for it. That's the refinance scam. All right. Let's go Facebook. We're back on Facebook. Coming to the end of my lease, residual is $23,647, being offered $22,900 for value of my car. Who offered you that? Should I buy the car at the end? No. No, the only time we buy our leases is when we are keeping the car 8 years. That's the only time. There's no exception to that rule. That's why it's called the 8-year rule. It's called the 8-year rule. It's the depreciation rule. When you look at a car, this is what you got to think about, y'all. This is the depreciation curve. Look, buy a car for $30,000 tomorrow. What is it worth? See, we take payments out of this. It's easy to understand. You buy a car for $30,000 today. What is it worth tomorrow? You drove it 10 miles. You just drove it home. What is it worth tomorrow? Look, Cuban ruler, 20. Maybe a little more than that. If you came back, I've seen cases though where people bought a car, brought it back in 3 days. I thought it was going to drive, rush their shopping process. Oh, I don't like the way it drives. What could you give me to switch out of this thing? A person who's paying cash would never do this, because once they see that they're losing six grand in 3 days, they'd never do it. But people with payments, this is why it's hard to understand how much money you're losing. So we keep the payments out of it. Look, 25 grand. You bring it back the next day, you're trading, you lost 5 grand. Now, if you park the car outside for a year, didn't drive it, bought a brand new $30,000 car, you park it outside, what is it worth in a year? Didn't drive it 1 mile. Now you're talking about Cuban ruler, maybe 21, 22. You lost 20%. You're going to lose 20%. So when you start seeing that you are, your whole mission is to say, how do I pay the least amount for depreciation? That's the unseen expense. We call that the unseen expense, depreciation. So when you hear the only way to beat it, there's 2 ways. You're going to keep the car long enough where after about 6-7 years, the curve goes like this. I always say, who has a car outside their driveway? See you later, Connie. Say I gotta go back to work. Who has a car outside of the driveway that they've had for 9 or 10 years or more? If you have a car in your driveway right now that you've had for 9, 10 years or more, type me. Okay, Jane, I see you. Okay, hold on. I gotta scroll through all these comments. Okay, Shell, I see you. Okay. Yep, 19 years and still going. Look, all right, look. So now here's how you beat the depreciation curve. You can take the strategy that they've employed. This is one way, and I'm gonna tell you about the other way. This is why we don't buy leases, because you've already had the car for 3 years. Now you're in the depreciation curve, buying it all over again as a used car, and you're back in the depreciation curve. So when you look at a 9 or 10-year-old car a year from now, it's going to be worth about the same thing it's worth now. About. If it's worth 10, a year from now, it's going to be worth probably 95. That means you've won. That's the reward. That's the reward for purchasing, to get there. If you're not going to that level, then you should not be purchasing. And the other way to not get killed with the value drop from depreciation is aggressive leases. Great lease deals. Great lease deals. That's the only 2 ways. If you're not doing either one of those things and you're replacing your cars in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you're losing a ton of money. Depreciation is killing you. And you got to step and pick your way. That's why the most important question, if you open my book, and if you ever hear me mention it, I call it the most important question, is the first question you ask yourself when you, as soon as you think of, hey, you know what? I think I want a new car. I think I want another car. How many years am I going to keep it? Most important question. As soon as you say, man, I got to buy a car, your college student needs a car, does not matter. How many years are they going to keep it? Because if it's 8 or longer, then they can win. If it's not 8, then you should be shopping for a great lease deal. Let me show you what a great lease deal looks like. An example. We get tons of them. Don't pay attention to advertisements. Those are not great lease deals. Those are not even deals. I don't even call those deals. You take somebody like Danielle, Danielle's driving a $44,000 Audi 2024, $550 a month. Now, some of you know, the new people you might not know unless you've seen a video that I made, how many, every $5,000 on the purchase price of a car is about how much per month? Every $5,000 is about how much per month? We might have a bunch of new people. Yes, TikToker, 100. Yep, exactly. Exactly. 100. Good job, JM. Exactly. So when we keep these things in mind, when you look at a $20,000 car, first thing coming, if you're going to buy it, forget the money down. That comes later. We automatically need to assume $20,000, $400 a month. $30,000, $600 a month. $40,000, $800 a month. Because that's what people are paying when you wonder, and some of you may be paying it. Listen, you know. So if you're long term and you're getting to that 9-10 year mark, God bless you. Pay off the car, get to the reward. But if you're like Deshone, I don't have plans on keeping the car that long, then you can't compare to something like a good lease deal. This car that Danielle's getting, $44,000, that would normally be $900 a month. There are people who are buying that car. If they did no money down, they're paying $900 a month. If they stretch out the loan to maybe 6 years, they're paying $800 a month. She drove off with $550 all day long. Here's another one. Greg, 1% lease. He got a $56,000 MSR, and you don't get these offers by going into a dealer. They sat at home. They used the 25 to 5. They got at least 5 offers. Some of them, you heard what Sean got when he got his Lightning. He got 15 offers from home. This Greg, he said, look, I'm excited about my latest lease purchase. Graduated, the system worked. I followed the steps, set up a great lease deal, 36 months, $12K per year. You can adjust your mileage too. I know we haven't talked about that in this show so far, but there's leases that go up to 15, 20, 25,000. High mileage drivers, you can't keep breaking the 8-year rule and thinking that you're not losing money. So we talk about you guys too and how you should be incorporating leasing if you're not keeping your cars 8 years. $56,000 vehicle, y'all. That's a $1,100 a month payment. He's paying $527. Imagine this guy is pulling up to people who have the same exact truck at a traffic light looking, hey, well, man, yo, we got the same truck. Yeah, man, how you like it? Man, I love it. Nice truck. Yeah, man, but shoot, it's expensive, man. This thing ain't cheap. Now, he expecting Greg to say, yeah, man, but we in this together, man. No, Greg like, oh, how much you paying for yours? Man, I paid, my note is just under 1,000. Really? Yeah, I didn't do no money down though. Okay. What you paying for yours? I paid $527. Dang, you must have put down like 25 grand. No, I didn't. I just gave him the first month payment and drove off. Yeah, I lease it. Oh, you lease it. Oh, okay. I heard about that, but I ain't into leasing, man. I like to own my stuff. I like to own it. All right, man. You go ahead. Keep owning that. Own that $1,000 payment. We driving the same vehicle, man. God bless you, bro. You lost. Now, again, if he's going to pay off that, if he's going to keep that thing for 8, 9, 10 years, then he's going to win later. He's not winning now. Greg's winning right now. Greg going to be winning for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 7 years over him because he's going to have an old car. But one day he pays it off. He outlives the depreciation, 9, 10 years. You see him 10 years later. Hey, man, remember we ran into each other? Yeah, we had the same vehicle, right? Yeah, man. Yo, I see you got the 2031 now. Yeah, man, I still lease mine. I like to turn mine every 3 years. I'm still paying my same $527, $550. But I see you got you got that truck, man. Yeah, I paid it off. I ain't had a payment on it the last 3 years, man. I'm gonna keep this thing till the wheels fall off. They both won. No one lost there. But if he don't keep it 8-10 years, he lost big time, thousands lost. So if there, and even when he has the title, someone said he doesn't own it till he has the title. Even when he has the title, if he doesn't keep it long enough to let that depreciation cool off, he lost. If he trades that thing, he pays all that money, $1,000 a month, and trades it while the car's still dropping 4, 5, 6 years, and goes and does it all over again, starts a brand new one, losing more money than we could ever even imagine. And that's some of you. I got to tell you the bad news, but I can't get you to the good news until I tell you. Some of you are like Deshone, that's me. I've been buying cars, yo. I got told never lease a car. You know, those people have cost you money. Whoever you listen to, they have cost you money. That's why we work adamantly to provide the information for people to understand that people with loud voices have been telling y'all for years, wrong information, very loud voices, and they won't admit it. They won't admit it, man. I wish, man, you got to be humble enough to say I led millions of people wrong. Dave Ramsey has done tons of damage. It's balanced out because he's helped a lot of people invest in the stock market. He's helped a lot of people become debt-free. So I think it balances out from a moral standpoint, but it does not change the fact that he has led millions of people wrong when it comes to leasing. Millions. And one day, if he's able to say, you know what, man, I found out, I was wrong about this. I listen, anyone can repent, but you got to be a super humble person to say that because the damage is done. Now, the only way he could do it is to really go on a mission to educate the right way. Like, you got to right your wrongs now. You can't just leave all this blood in the streets and say, y'all, I was wrong. Let's keep moving on. Let's just move on. Can we just move on? I know I cost y'all a lot of money and y'all trusted me to give y'all the best information, but sorry, y'all, I didn't know. You can't do that. You got to right your wrongs now. Same energy you use to destroy leasing, you now have to do more than that to educate the people that you financially set back. So, but that's what we're here for, because we don't count on the fact anyone's going to do that. So, if you're not keeping your next car 8 years, you should be shopping for a lease. Business people, Turo, Uber, different. We're not talking about you because you can't predict your mileage. If you're doing 30, 40, 50,000 and you're trying to do as much as possible, that's a different story. But I'm talking to people who are, you buy your cars, you're a regular person. Deshone, I ain't doing no Uber. I'm buying a car and I need to know, should I buy it or lease it? If you're not keeping it 8 years, you should be leasing. You should be shopping multiple offers to get a great lease deal that's going to get you the best cars for the least amount of money. If you are buying and you're keeping longer than 8 years, then you should be buying and you should be paying off your car when it's convenient for you, quick as you can, and keeping your car until the wheels fall off. 8, 9, 10 years. Anyone else, you're losing money. What's the 30,000 mile person a year? What's the 30,000 mile person a year? Okay, wait, hold on. Let me take a sip of water. We still getting questions from all. We got a couple more. We got a couple more minutes and then we'll wrap. And we'll be back. Like, we'll keep these live streams going. I want you always to be able to hop on one. I want you to always be able to tell somebody, if you hear them shopping for a car, hey, go join Deshone's live stream. He does this car shopping Q&A. Go hop on it. Hold on. Somebody said, what's the 30,000 mile a year person to do? Not Uber, not Turo, okay? Just a high mileage driver. When I was a manager at Hyundai for a couple months, and first time seeing, couple months, 6 weeks, the owner ended up getting indicted. So God showed me very early, this is not the place for you, son. But I had a great 6 weeks. It was a lot of fun. But this was a highway dealer. Like, if you Googled highway dealer, like, there's a picture of this dealer would have came up. So, but this guy comes in, I'm helping him return his lease, and I see he has like 70,000 miles on the car. And I'm like, you lease this? He said, yeah, I always do a high mileage lease, man. I'm in sales. I'm on the road all the time. I said, wow, okay. Now, that's how much we're uneducated as car salespeople. Even the people who, the 20%, we're not taught this. Thank God I had to seek this information. I had to ask questions. But I said, you leased this, huh? He said, yeah. All I do, man, I do my driving. Every 3 years, I come back, get a brand new one. I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't worry about no negative equity, nothing. I said, okay, that's amazing. Then I saw what he was paying because I had to do his paperwork to ground the lease. I said, wow, that's a good car payment. That's only a couple dollars more than a regular lease would be. This is $175, $200 more per month because I had dealt with high mileage drivers coming in and trading their cars. If you're a high mileage driver, you know, if you've been doing loans, you're losing so much value. Every time you come in, you have 10 grand, 15 grand negative equity. You got to deal with that every transaction. So I guess he had dealt with that. And he, you know, maybe somebody educated him, or maybe it was his idea. I'm gonna just pay a couple more dollars. I'm gonna get a great lease deal, and then I'm going to adjust that mileage to what I need. And that was great. So what we find is for 175, 200, whatever it is, $150 more, $100 more, you can add that high mileage to your lease. And like imagine Greg, who I just posted with the 527, he's doing 12,000 miles a year. Imagine if he adjusted it to a 20,000 mile a year lease because he's a high mileage driver. Maybe his payment goes from 527 to 627, 650. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. He's paying a couple dollars more because he's using more. See, if there's anything that we've made clear, and I'll hammer it home by making the statement, you pay for your usage. We went over depreciation. We spent a lot of time talking about depreciation this show. You pay for your usage. So once you get that clear, that whether I buy the car, I pay for what I pay for it, even if I don't use it. So when I'm driving, I'm paying for it, whether I own it, whether I lease. It's just which one allows me to pay less. And when you get a great lease deal, it allows you to pay less for your usage. So that's one option. That's for the short-term person who wants one vehicle, high mileage, you're on the road, and you just want one vehicle, you're going to rotate every 3 years. The second option is for those who, this is also in my book. Everything I'm teaching you is in my book, step by step. Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. It's a digital book. You can go to my TikTok bio. As part of our launch, it's 75% off. It's normally $97. You get to my TikTok and my Instagram bio, click that button. And then when you see, as long as the timer's not at 0, you get it for 75% off. You got 30 minutes. And if you've been there already, the timer's still running. So it doesn't stop. But I call it, and Facebook and YouTube, I'll post the link again for you guys, for those of you who just jumped on. And you can go right there and you can get your copy for 75% off. So one strategy for short-term buyers, and look, this is short-term. If the 8-year rule doesn't change, if you're a high mileage driver, but you're keeping your cars a long time, you don't need to lease. 8 years. Let's say I'm a high mileage driver and I know I drive 30,000 miles a year, but I'm going to keep my car at least 8 years. I'm just going to go out, I'm going to find something that will last me, and I'll just drive it, pay it off, and bring it back. I'll sell it 8 years later with 320,000 miles on it, because that's highway miles. So I'll put that mileage on it in 8 years, and then I'm out, and then I'm up out of there. 8 times 3. Look, 8 times 30,000 a year. It's 240,000. Let's see. Is that 240,000? 30,000 a year times 8 years, 240,000 miles. Tons of cars out there that you can buy that'll do 240,000 miles in 8 years. Tons of them. So I don't want you thinking about leasing if you're a high mileage driver, if you're a long-term person. If the car is a long-term purchase, you don't need the lease. You need to make sure you're getting a great car. But if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, then yes, the first one is a high mileage lease strategy. And the second is to balance it out. Because some people say, Deshone, I'm a high mileage driver, like that guy. Let's take it back to that guy. He might say, yeah, man, I want a nice car though. I got my Hyundai, I drive that for work. I'm on the road with that 70,000 miles in 3 years. But you know what? I want to have a nice car. What would normally happen is you pay your car off first. This is in my book. I call this 2 cars, 1 payment. So the first car is you own. It's a purchase. It's not a lease. And if you have a car already that you have a loan on, you pay that car off. and then that becomes your mileage car, and you go lease something nice. So now you got your mileage car that you're doing probably 15,000 a year on, and then you're going to lease something nice for 10 or 15,000, and you'll split the mileage. It's one car payment, it's a nice car, and then it's the mileage car. And so either one of those two strategies, you pick which one you target, and they're both phenomenal strategies. It depends on the person. I've had people that do both. Both of those are better than anything else that you've been doing. Anything. Both of those keep the money in your pocket, keep payments low, give you a nice car, protection. That's it. All right. Okay. All right. I think that's good for now. We've been on here for all right, let's do a couple more. Let's do all right. Go another 5 minutes. All right, let's go. Now, sometimes we want to jump off, but we in the heat of things, man. I love it. Everybody's enjoying it. Let's see if we got anything on Instagram. I see Instagram watching. I'm looking for a question over here. How can I get rid of a 2015 Q5 with an oil consumption issue that was skipped for the recall? You got an old, no, it's not old. It's not that old. Got a 9-year-old Audi. Is the car paid off? Is the car paid off? Because I teach something called the rule of 72 on the 10th birthday. Rule of 72 means we don't take a loan longer than 6 years, 72 months, and then we have to have the car paid off by the 10th birthday. So when things like this happen, which, you know, we can't predict them, these cars are machines, we figure, you know, the nightmare stories, I see you said it's paid off. That's great. We don't want issues on a car we still have a loan on. That's the whole goal. So you want to get the car paid off. So what I would do is you fix the car. You know, I would really try to find a European mechanic that I could trust, ask around. When I worked for Mercedes, I used to send people to he was he used to work for Mercedes. He started his own shop, and his work was probably 35-40% of what the dealerships would charge. Because when the car has problems, y'all, it's almost worthless. It's hard to sell. You got to go through issues. I mean, a 9-year-old Audi is not an old vehicle. So if you get with the right mechanic, you get with the right service shop, and somebody who knows Audis, and this is what they do, then, you know, what is it going to cost me to fix this? Then you could sell it. Because those fixes, I don't like putting money into a car that I'm not going to get back. So when you think, some people say, Deshone, well, my car has scratches, do you think I should like get them touched up? Well, the same money it costs you to get them touched up is probably the same money you're going to increase the value. If it costs you $900 to get them touched up, maybe the car is worth $900 more. I mean, it was for nothing. You want to do stuff where if I put $2,000 in the car, it's worth $6,000. It's worth $4,000 more. It's worth that $2,000 I put in increases the value of the car $4,000 or $6,000. In which case, there are many issues that, you know, engines, transmissions, you know, head gaskets. These are things that make your car's value almost nothing. So if you can get those things done cheaply with a local mechanic or a local reputable shop, and you get like a rebuilt part, apart from a salvage yard, and you get the car running, then you could sell out of it, because what you're doing is you're selling low. You're selling at its lowest value, which who wants to do that? So if you can't do that, then your only option is to sell as is. The car is paid off, so thank God you were financially wise in that you don't have a car payment on it. So you could sell it, but it's worth a lot less with the issue. So it's a matter of, do you want to put the money into it? Hold on, we just got a battery low over here. So do you want to put the money into the car, increase the value, and then sell out of it? Or do you want to just sell it with a low value? That's the choice you got to make. It's going to depend on your resources. But everyone here, if you got a car that has no warranty, you should have a local mechanic on your team. You should have a local mechanic on your team for sure. It's just, it's so necessary. So necessary. Okay, listen, we'll be back. We're going to do a lot more of these. Whenever you see me live, If you are on my email list, which means you have my cheat sheets, if you have my book, you're on the email list, you'll get notifications of when I'm live. Everyone who just jumped on, everything that I've taught in the show, everything you're going to hear. When you watch my social media videos, that's all in my book. It's just in a step-by-step way. We don't hold the information back. I'm not going to hold it back. It's just, do you want it all in one spot? You could go through all the social media videos. They're for all different people. High mileage drivers, leases, buying, cash buyers, used cars. So you can cycle through all of those and put it together. You can jump on the live and we'll do this Q&A and I'll lay out strategy. Use it. But if you like Deshone, I want everything in one spot where I could just follow it step by step. That is my new book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. It's a digital book. It'll be in your inbox in less than 10 minutes. And it's called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And it's 75% off as part of our launch for 30 minutes. So if you haven't visited yet, you can get yours. If you did visit, the timer started. Once it gets to 0, price goes back up to $97, which is still a great price. We've had people pay $97, not bat an eye, because my goal for the book is for it to be one of the most valuable books you've ever bought. I got a bunch of books up here. I really don't have a lot of them that have made me money. I have a lot on different subjects, but I want you, when you look at my book, I want you to be like, this book right here has made me money and will make me and my family money for years. So go get your 75% off in my TikTok bio, grab your copy. In my Instagram bio, grab your copy. Or if you're on Facebook, you can just go to deshonesbook.com. I'll put the banner back up. Or you can scan the QR code and get your 75% off. So we will be back. Anyone you know, you co-worker, hey, I'm shopping for a car soon. Invite them to the live broadcast. Invite them to my channel so that we can make sure that you guys are saving all the money you should be saving and you know where the hidden money is in your car deals. All right? And shopping the new way. Stop negotiating and start making people bid. All right? I'll see y'all in the next show. God bless y'all. On any of those platforms, occasionally I share graphics and I share things that I can't do on TikTok. So if you're over there, come on over. But let me know who's car shopping right now. If you are shopping for a car right now, or you will be in the next 12 months, welcome to Car Shopping Secrets. We're going to be going deep. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. I was in the car business from 2006 to 2020. Left after COVID, and I have been spending all my time since then making sure that people like you know how to save all the money on cars that you need to. So we'll give people on YouTube a chance to come in. Hunt, I see you. What's a good car to get an SUV? It's too many. I always tell people, don't ask people about their opinions on cars. That's where data is. That's where you need data. Google. A lot of people don't realize there's somewhere along the lines of 40 million used cars sold a year. In a healthy market, 17 million new cars. I think sometimes if you're not in the industry, if you're obviously, you guys are just, your car buyers, so you don't really know the magnitude of the industry. There's, 50 to 60 million cars, really 60 million plus cars sold a year. So you could, but it's not a good practice to ask a person their opinion on a car. Now, what you should do is figure out kind of the category of car you want, pick one, and I always say, look at the competitors. So if I'm looking at for a 4-door sedan and I like the Toyota Camry, then I'm going to look at the 3, 4, 5 top competitors of the Toyota Camry. And that's usually enough to help you go deep on, deep from there. So hold on, let me just make sure we all good. Can everybody hear audio's clear? Is everybody, give me ones in the chat if audio is clear. I just want to make sure. Hey, Ty said, I just purchased your book this morning. I was just reading. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Enjoy it. Use it. And please make sure you reach out to me with your success story. DM me. I can't wait to hear how much you save, how much you pay, what deals you get. Everybody, my new book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, is for the launch of it, we're doing 75% off. It's normally a $97 digital book, but you can go to my TikTok bio, you can go to my Instagram bio, or you can go to deshonsbook.com and you can get your copy for the next 30 minutes for 75% off. That is our gift. That's my launch. That is like, let's get this information in the world. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. Confirming audio is clear. So everybody just start typing your questions and we'll go at least an hour. I want to do just some serious questions. I thought I had my document open and I didn't. So while y'all are posting your questions, give me 15 seconds to do this, but start just posting them. Here we go. All right. And if you love great information, then tag a friend, because they're going to be mad at you if they find out you were following me and you were using what I'm teaching you and you were saving all this money and they went out here to buy a car and you didn't tell them about me. They will certainly be mad at you. All right, hold on. I just had to post a comment. I want to make sure everybody know on Facebook and on YouTube. I want to put the link for you guys to get your book now at the 75% off. So here we go. There it is. All right, let's get to it. Is it good to get the warranty? It depends on the car, Lucas. You cannot look. Expensive repair. Here's the rule of thumb for warranties, y'all. You only need a warranty when the car has expensive repairs or a history of breaking. Again, that goes back to the data. These are little 3-minute things we do on Google. Literally, Google the car you are looking at. 2020, always put in the year. 2019, I don't know, Hyundai, whatever, repair cost. When you see that, I have something I do before we ever look at a car. You want to type in that same term, longevity. Longevity will tell you the long term of if that car has problems. The data, you want to skim that first page on Google. If you see a bunch of articles that say problems, electric problems, reliability ratings, that's enough for you to know. Now, a problem car is different from a car that has high maintenance costs or high cost of repair. Usually import cars, anything that's coming from overseas in terms of Europe, you usually have higher costs for parts. That means when something breaks, it's more expensive to fix. The higher the cost of repair, the more likely a warranty will pay for itself, because that's what you want, right? Shout out to the sharers. Thank you. I see a bunch of people who hit that share button. I appreciate you all. What you want when you get a warranty is for it to pay for itself. Not saying you want to use it, but you don't want to spend $3,000 or $2,000 or $4,000 on a warranty and then you don't use it. Yeah, it's like an insurance policy. That's really what it is. It's an insurance against, repairs. But at the same time, you don't want to spend $4,000 and you end up not using it. You could have basically kept that money and then just protected yourself, if something goes wrong. But if your car has a high repair cost and expensive parts, then yeah, warranty is worth it. I used to tell people when I was with Mercedes-Benz, some of you know I worked for Mercedes-Benz for 5 years, General Motors for 5 years. I would tell anyone who was purchasing a Mercedes-Benz and they were going to keep it a long time, buy as much warranty as you could afford. Let's go. All right, we're going to be going to questions all over. I got Instagram over here. So as everybody comes, I'm looking at all my screens to make sure I'm getting questions from every platform. Can you discuss the junk fees the dealers try to add? So the only way you can avoid the junk fees is you need to be doing your shopping from home. You can't deal with junk fees when you get to the dealership. It's too late. You've wasted your time. You need to be at home, which is what I teach. If y'all don't know, my strategy, my system I invented for car shopping is called Cars from Home. That's what it's called. 99 to 100% of your purchase with a new car or a lease can be done from home. About 90% with a used car can be done from home. You can't do 100% from home. Who knows why? Who knows why you can't do 100% of your transaction? A new car, fresh from the factory, lease or purchase, brand new, you can do that from home. But who knows why you can't do a 100% from home deal on a used car? Anybody who chimes in with the right answer, you got a free copy of my book. because this requires a little critical thinking. But if you think about it, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. Let's go. I'm looking at all. I'm gonna count down from 10. If we don't get an answer, then I'm gonna tell. 10, 9, it could be a limit. That's close. That's close, but not quite. Yes, exactly, H2H. DM me. Wait a minute. I don't know who came first. It might have been, I see H2H, but then we had Rich Perry who came in. Both of you DM me, and you both got a free copy of the book. Because yes, test drive. With a used car, you see, with a new car, let's say some of you are shopping for a brand new car right now. We go test drive that car. That's actually in step 4 of my shopping process. I have a seven-step process. My book is called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Step 4 is when we go test drive the brand new car. You can't do that with a used car. You have to test drive a used car when you're there. And the reason why it's always the last step is because we don't want to waste our time. When we are shopping for a used car, we are always verifying junk fees as a step from home. And then once we verify that this used car is the best price in the market, that this used car it has everything we want, and it's the lowest deal in the market, it has no bogus fees, then we go to the dealership, test drive it, lock it up. That's the speed of a used car deal. But all of that upfront work must be done, or you're going to end up wasting your time. Some of you, be honest, you've walked away from deals. I don't like walking away from deals. You know why? You wasted my time. So I don't, as much as I love the fact some of you say, Deshone, I will walk away from a deal if I love that. That's good, because you're not going to, I'd rather you walk away than put yourself in a bad situation. But at the same time, when you get real good, like I want you to get, when you really use what I'm teaching y'all, you won't ever have to walk away. Because when you have to walk away, somebody wasted your time and you still need a car. All right, let's go. Even though, wait, hold on. You can't do 2-part questions, y'all. Type all your questions in one thing, because you can't do like, I can't do 2-part, like you continued your question in like 2 or 3 comments. Let's go here. Leased a new car 6 weeks ago. Now find out it doesn't have all that was promised. Dealership ignores. Nothing you can do, Mike. Nothing you could do. Look, see, now, I'm not in the business of lying to you. One thing you're going to learn about me is I'm going to tell you the hard truth. Now, I'm going to also tell you what you need to do to make sure things like that never happen again. But because somebody who you will talk to in a car dealership will say, no problem, come on in, Mike, we'll swap you out of that car. They're about to, that's called 2 paychecks. We already got paid on that car that you didn't like. And unfortunately, you didn't know enough at the time to verify what was in it. Understood? We could say it's not your fault. No one told you. That's fine. This is an industry of wolves. We get it. But it doesn't change the fact a paycheck was made when you bought that car. And now, come on in, we'll swap you out of that. Take that negative equity, which you're going to have because you can't buy a car or lease a car in 6 weeks and go train. The depreciation, the car, whatever you paid for the car, the current value of it is 20% less than that at this particular time. Who knows that? You buy a car for 30 grand right now. The day you buy it, this is why I go deep on these lessons on depreciation. You must know. Could y'all shout out the likes on TikTok? Could y'all just start tapping the screen if you're going to spend 10, 15 minutes with us? Let's let TikTok know that we got something over here that more people need to see. If you just start tapping the screen, you'll see the lights go up. You have to sit with that car, or you have to realize the losses. And realizing the losses means I got a car, I'm okay. But if I go and switch this car, I'm losing 20%. Now, they might hide it in a payment and get you into a payment that's like, oh, I can afford that, but it don't change the fact. And you know who would never do this, who would never switch a car that quick? Cash buyers. See, because when you pay cash for a car, thanks, Gary, you actually see, dang, I laid out 40 grand of my cash. Now you come back in 6 weeks, hey man, this car doesn't have the big, you know, the camera in the back that I thought it had. Man, I want to switch out of this. When they do that deal and they show you what that car is worth, you're gonna say, nah, you know what? I'll stick without the camera. Sorry, I'll get it next time. Cash buyers, because when you move cash, the numbers are so transparent, there's no room to hide any losses. But with payment buyers, oh yeah, it's the same numbers. That's the bad part. It's the same numbers. The numbers are equally as bad, except we hide it in a payment. We'll stretch out the loan. Hey, look, we switch you. You got the car you want. You got the options you wanted, and your payment is only $30 more per month, but it's $30 more per month for another year. So it's a horrible financial deal. So all I can tell you is you can do what you want. You're a grown adult, but I'm an auto advisor. I consider myself to be someone who protects the public's money, but you got to be willing to listen and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I got to bite the bullet, because you can't switch cars that fast. I appreciate it. Thank you, Paul. Said I just got the book. Thank you. Enjoy it. Use it. Everybody, my book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, is officially out. It's a digital book. The reason it's a digital book, because I need to be able to update it. Things change. Vroom went out of business 2 months ago. We got to make sure we update these books. And if I had 100,000 books in print, you all will be sitting there with books that were obsolete, or at least a piece of that strategy. Anytime you see Vroom, it'd be like, oh, Vroom's out of business. So digital books, we literally update the file, and my scripts are in there. Anything I want to update, I could do it, and then you open it up and you got the new version. So everybody could get theirs for 75% off in my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio, or go to deshonsbook.com. 75% off for 30 minutes while we're on this blog. If you're seeing this, then it's still available for 75%. Bought the course but haven't gotten my copy yet. Just email support. Charlotte, here's the thing, y'all. I have a specific email for people who purchase stuff from me. Obviously, y'all can see we got like 400 people on here right now. Tons of people who I'm interacting with. But when you purchase something from me, the first thing I give you is a support email. I have a support team. Don't get me in DMs. Hey, Deshone, I didn't receive. Just email the support team, because most times I'm not going to see the DM. So please do not DM me about a product you purchased. Always email the support. And most times, we've done this for 3 years. It's just a letter that was wrong in the email. That's all. That's the problem. Typing fast. Oh, timer. I want to get to 75% off. A letter is wrong, and then your email doesn't come. And we'll get it. Sandra will get it right to you. All right. For the 1.5% lease rule, is it MSRP plus taxes and fees and first payment, or is it just MSRP plus taxes and fees? So 1%, here's what when you're shopping for a lease, I have this rule I call the 1.5% rule. It's so you to know a bad lease deal. A bad lease deal is when you always get your lease quotes. Remember this, y'all. Remember this. It's all in my book. It'll be on a replay. If you're watching this episode replayed, you take the MSRP of the car. The MSRP is the total. Let me show y'all this. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show y'all what a window sticker looks like. It's called a Maroney label. You call it a window sticker, and I want you to know what the total price is. You have to know, because this is what you base your this is how you shop your lease deals and measure the value. So check this out. Where is it? Here. Boom. TikTok. Y'all can't see this, but if you're